Live from Soho, New York City, it's Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern.
Oh, hey!
What are you doing here?
What's going on over here? Welcome to the show, everybody. It's September 3rd. We're barreling straight towards winter, yay!
Yeah.
And away from summer, yay!
Fall clothing means
jacket weather.
More electronics on your person.
Yeah, I just personally prefer also not to be sweaty.
Yeah.
With me is Phil, Mr. Ladiator himself, each week.
Hello.
Hitting the jams. What's on the jams?
On today's show, what are you wearing?
Oh my gosh, that's my favorite segment.
Yeah, it's a new segment.
Yeah.
Wearable Wednesday.
This is stuff on the blog, Customer Projects. This week we have some cool videos from our cosplay correspondent from DragonCon.
Yep. Next up, component of the week.
Each week well, not every week, but when we feel like it, we show you a component we like, and this week it's the Power Boost.
That's right.
500C.
Material spotlight.
Likewise, we share material with you and tell you why it's cool. This week it is 3D printer filament for your 3D printer. Any kind of 3D printer, we have lots of kinds.
Questions and answers, you got questions. Becky has some answers.
I have answers and I have prizes. So if you, prize, singular.
Prize.
If you want to ask a question during the show or later when you're watching this about wearable electronics, I will answer them. And anybody's question who gets answered on the show becomes eligible to win the prize. I have a little bucket of the questions for today.
Yep.
And today's prize is a Flora. So you can ask questions in the comments. I'll answer them like next week or the week after or whatever.
Okay. All that and more on Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern.
Yay.
Okay, we got that going on.
Welcome to the show. We have a big show today.
Yeah, big show.
You want to like cover up? Oh, we have to.
Yeah,
while
we got to
talk about the code.
We
got
to
to
do the special code. I'm not doing anything weird.
Today's code is Manicure. If you want to
Yeah.
get 10% off in Flora and wearables categories on the site until 11:59 p.m., you can use code Manicure in the store. We'll talk about why in a second.
Okay.
But for now, yeah, you Manicure.
What are we doing?
Okay, so now is our favorite new segment called "What Are You Wearing?" Phil,
Yeah.
what in the hell are you wearing?
This is a 3D printed Daft Punk helmet that Noah and Pedro made using Trinket and NeoPixels, and it was printed on the open source Tazbot because of its big build platform. And
All one piece, all one piece 3D printed.
Yeah.
It's
And,
amazing.
Yeah, this is.
Visibility seems to be a little.
Yeah, I feel like we're in an arms race with what you're wearing because, like, next up I have to have the 3D printed Iron Man costume or something like that. But it is pretty impressive and it's very cool.
Can you see through it at all?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Well, it looks fabulous. This is this week. So this week I did a 3D printing project and Noah and Pedro did a wearables project. We're just like switching it up, themes and stuff.
Yeah.
That's tomorrow's 3D Thursday project and video. So if you want to see how that was built, you should subscribe to our YouTube channel. I mean, you should do that anyway, but
Yeah.
and you can watch the video when it first comes out tomorrow, but also on the 3D live show.
Yeah.
It's awesome 3D printing one piece. That's crazy. You want to shove it in the.
Yeah, we'll
It's
try.
the head of ghee. Maybe we'll use it for the raffle later.
Yeah.
It looks pretty rad in the rack. Cool. Okay, so that's what are you wearing? The segment where we talk about it's basically what it is.
We did that.
Cool. Okay, on to Wearable Wednesday. This is where we share projects that you make, and we talk about stuff that's on the blog. So every Wednesday is Wearable Wednesday on the Adafruit blog. It's a mixture of amazing bloggity bloggers posting up cool wearables projects that you make, cool wearables projects we find, cool wearables news like that Ralph Lauren thing.
Yeah.
And I like to share those projects here with you. And then we debut our weekly project, so that's what we're about to do.
Okay. So first up.
This is a wedding dress made with Gemma and Gemma sequins. Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
That's going to be a problem for the whole show.
It's not gonna be a problem.
I'm so sorry. I just realized a critical structural show error I made. Oh, man.
It's okay. I am so fast.
Okay, cool. So this is a wedding dress made with Gemma and some sequins. It is got the LED sequins that are on these shoulder puffs that are holding the wedding dress train on. And there's a sketch that was posted in the forums, too, of what the dress would look like. Yeah, that one.
Next up.
Yeah, it's the same dress. See there, the parts and the circuit. And I think it came out really beautiful. There's a video on the site, so if you want to look at the video, click over to the blog.
Okay.
Next up is another customer project. This is a Katy Perry inspired Halloween costume. So Katy Perry, lots of bright colors, and it is for I believe it is a child. in the next picture. It looks like it is there's a child's arm.
A very compact person, perhaps.
Yeah, right? Doesn't that look like a little girl? I think so. Anyway, I highly approve of making LED Halloween costumes for your kids. My mom used to always make my Halloween costumes. That's cool. We're talking about that next.
Yeah, that's okay.
This is a cool NeoPixel dress inspired by nanotechnology and made with our sewable NeoPixels. Also, somebody who used the forums to help to ask questions about making the project and then posted up the final result. We love it when you guys do that. So if you buy Adafruit parts and make a costume, like a lot of times we don't get to see your final project, so I would love it if you post more pictures in the forums.
Okay.
This is a dress that's in an MIT design competition, I think. You can find more information about it on the blog and vote for it if you want to.
And then we have some costuming. So what's going on this week in the world of costumes?
So Amy Ratcliffe, our cosplay blogger, she sent me these videos. She went to Dragon Con last weekend.
That's the big one right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just like some awesome, amazing cosplay going on. This is a robot costume, and she's writing posts about all kinds of cosplay every single day on the blog, not just Wearable Wednesday. So look out for her posts. Yeah, look at this guy. I can't pretend to know what these characters are, but like check out the LED glowing PWM.
That's NeoPixel person. And
you're just gonna make up names for these characters.
And this is
Crazy Backpack.
Maybe Ghostbusters.
This is Ghostbusters-esque.
NeoPixel person.
This is a cool backpack
is everything...
that has EL wire and some LEDs on it, and then there's also an arm piece. I think it's from the same costume that has some really cool, weird, like what is that thing called? The orb with the lightning bolts coming out of it.
Oh,
I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I know.
But like a replica of that kind of little screen of lightning bolt thing.
Yeah.
Really neat. So thanks, Amy, for sending me those videos to share with you guys. We're just entering the Halloween season, so we're trying, obviously, to do some crazy stuff. But we've got the electronics chops, but the cosplay stuff is really amazing. And the ingenious ways that people incorporate the most simple circuits always impresses me into their like very complicated, crafty. You know how much I like crafts.
Yeah. And we also have kind of some special news. Because you've been asked about the music on Adafruit stuff for a long time.
Yeah.
And now we have an answer.
Right. So the answer to your question, what is that rad music I hear, in addition to there being a credit in all of our YouTube videos, is Bartle Beats, music by Bartle Beats, now on this vinyl pink record by Thomas White, director of receiving and musical genius.
Yeah,
he writes the music for the Adafruit videos and
all of the shows.
The theme song for this show, in fact, is on this album. I keep pointing like it's over there because it's to the left of me. It's over here.
Yeah, you gotta go.
So you can get it as a free download too if you just want the MP3s. You don't have to like buy the vinyl to get the download. You can just go download, please. And the music is licensed Creative Commons, so if you would like to use it on your electronics videos, you can, as long as you credit it properly and link to Tom's like Bandcamp page or whatever.
Yeah, it's also on SoundCloud on the product page. And if you want to own a piece of history that's made out of pink vinyl, we only made a few of these, got a few hundred, and they're kind of going fast. We're a little surprised. People still have record players, and so pick up.
I don't have a record player, but I asked Tom to sign one for me.
We have a record player here if you want to. We have a physical one.
I'm going to have him sign one, even though I can't play it. I'm going to hang it on my wall.
You know what will happen? One day you'll be walking down the street and you'll see like a thrift store or a garage sale, and you'll be like, hey, that $1 record player, I got a home for that.
He's wrong. I'm not. I'm not that kind of hoarder.
You're not going to.
I'm a hoarder, but of different kind of things. Yeah.
Of electronics.
No, I'm beyond that stage of my life.
Really?
Yeah. Have you ever taken an entire carload of e-waste to the e-waste recycling facility?
No, but I put them in the e-waste thing. What do you store that you know you have a little bit of a problem with?
Reflective materials.
Really? Okay.
Like shiny things.
Okay. Really? You have like a whole shiny shrine?
I have a box that's called Reflective Materials, and it's full of tapes.
It's getting bigger and bigger.
Tapes and reflectors. And I never make anything with reflective. I put it on my bike, but like I already did put it on my bike. I really should throw that stuff away, but it's so shiny.
Box of shame. Shiny shame. All right. Well, speaking of shiny.
I like shiny things.
What nice nails you have, Becky.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
This week's project is it? No, I'm a little embarrassed. This week's project is a UV manicure lamp because electronics for girls.
You're just okay.
Let's roll the video.
All right, let's go.
What's up, everybody? Today we're building a project to help you get salon quality manicures at home using 3D printing and DIY electronics from Adafruit. Okay, you probably already have some questions, so just let me take a minute to explain. If you've seen my videos before, you know I like to paint my nails. But what you might not know is it's UV gel polish. It's a different chemical formulation that's more durable, flexible, and lasts a whole lot longer than the air dry stuff. But it doesn't just look nice, it lets you do more stuff with your nails. You can open cans, change the battery on your camera, pick at some electronics. I like to call it structural nail polish. And without it, my long and useful nails would chip and break under the everyday pressures of, making stuff. But gel polish has to be cured in a UV lamp, which is something usually only nail salons have, or if you're like me, you buy one on Amazon, and it takes up as much space as a large toaster oven and has to be plugged into the wall. Doing your own gel manicure is easy if you have the right tools. Dare I say, even easier than standard polish, because the different viscosities smooths out its own inconsistencies, and once it's cured, it's completely dry. Adafruit's UV LEDs, a PowerBoost 500C, and a battery make it easy to whip up your own manicure lamp at home. And we even designed this 3D printed enclosure to put it all together. Let's get started. Set your printer going with our free files in your favorite color while you solder up the light board. 30 UV LEDs fill up a half-size permaproto, wired in parallel, each with its own resistor. The board fits inside the frame with power and ground wires routed through this channel. Solder to the PowerBoost and attach a slide switch. Then test out your circuit with a 2500 mAh li-poly battery. Fix any forgotten solder connections and optionally affix some reflective sticky paper to even out the light inside the frame. Everything else goes together with machine screws, except for the eyes on the top lid, which need a bit of glue. The top compartment is useful for storing supplies, and you recharge the battery over USB. So while it may take a bit longer to cure than its higher power cousin, this portable lamp is great for touch-ups and travel, or for trying out our NFC manicure project for unlocking your phone. So I hope you're inspired to go build your own version of this project. Everything you need is in the tutorial, which is at the link in the description. Then you can share it with us on our weekly show and tell hangout on Google+. Thanks so much for watching, and if you like this video, subscribe for more electronic 3D printing from Adafruit.
Okay, and we're back. So tell me about this project, Becky. What did you do?
I got sick of how ugly the UV nail lamps are that you buy online or wherever you buy them. They're all ugly and big, and a lot of them use fluorescent light bulbs that are hard to find. And hey, we're not going to make a black light poster frame out of these UVA LEDs, so we might as well make something useful out of them. And a lot of people pointed out in the comments, and also from chatting with friends who do maker stuff, that wavelength of these LEDs is 400 nanometers, which is very close to the UV laser diodes they use in resin laser sintering printers, 3D printers. So which come out of their baths a little sticky with the uncured resin, and so you can plop your little prints in here. What did somebody else say? Silkscreen transfer setting. Yeah,
you can zap UV EEPROMs.
Oh yeah, UV old style chips that you wipe clean with UV light. You can do that.
Yeah.
Really cool. You want to go to the overhead?
Yeah, let's go to the overhead.
I'll show you my nails. Because there's not very many chances on the show where I'm like, hey, Phil, let's talk about my manicure. So I wouldn't, these fancy nails would probably, if I got the fancy nails done at the manicure salon, it would probably, with the little stripes and the rhinestones, would probably be around $50.
Wow.
To have this service performed.
So you're
that only lasts
bucks.
2 weeks or something at most. And yeah, so I'm saving a lot of money. I haven't actually been to the nail salon to get my nails done since I got that UV manicure lamp for Christmas.
Really?
From my Amazon wish list. Thanks, Mom. Yeah, I haven't been. I mean, I have for a pedicure or something, but not to get my UV gel manicure. I've just been doing it myself. And listen, I hate regular nail polish so bad, and I never used to paint my nails because it I'm like, what is this bogus? I spend all this time doing this thing, and then maybe it's not all the way dry, and I mess it up, and that makes me feel bad about myself. And and these things about that new nail product with the long stem, the julep long stem nail polish,
Oh,
and
yeah.
how women feel bad about themselves when they can't do their nails. It's just because they're using the wrong tools.
Yeah, I saw that. I sent it to you, and I'm like, I don't know, you want to 3D print one of these things?
It's like, well, like you can use any brush for nail polish.
Yeah,
so
it's not-
like I don't know. Anyway, so I did my nails pretty by myself with a little tiny nail art brush I got on Amazon for like, I got a whole set of them for like $2. Do you like our new overhead? It's really nice.
Yeah.
This is what a UV LED looks like on a battery. It's like a purple sort of a light, and this is UVA 400 nanometers. So while this can do a little bit of damage to your skin over time, it's not that much different than being out in the sun. It's a little bit more intense than being out in the sun. But it's only UVA. UVB does most of the sun burning, and UVA does more like long-term damage. So you can wear sunscreen while you do your UV gel. In fact, some nail salons will put sunscreen on you, or fingerless gloves that let just the tips of your fingers out, so you do less damage to your skin, because it will give you wrinkles, I guess, if you do it for, like, check back with me in 10 years and see if my hands are wrinkly. But the Noe Ruiz, one of our members of our awesome 3D team, made the enclosure, and you can tell because it looks like a little face. And then the UV LEDs are the teeth, you see?
Oh, it eats the nails. Yeah, I see that. That's fun.
And there's a compartment on the top for putting your supplies, like your nail file and your cuticle trimmer, and your little alcohol wipe, which you need just like the just like the resin 3D prints. This nail polish comes out a little sticky, and you have to wipe it with alcohol when you're done to get the sticky residue off. But beyond that, they're completely dry, which means that like once I'm done sitting down at the table doing my nails, I can go off and then do the dishes and like not worry about wrecking my nail polish. Because I'm not a very like girly girl, and so I kind of manhandle my hands a lot. This one I made in black and orange, and this orange filament that we have for that like Matt has in a box over there.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Double Becky.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
It is
Everything's
Phil's
just-
fixing my catastrophic
everything's
show
just-
error, so
Everything's fine. Edit down in post.
I did the thing where I made it echoey on every single shot, and Phil's trying to fix it
It's
one by one. Thanks, Phil.
It's fine.
You see how it looks like a jack-o'-lantern?
Yeah.
But also this plastic, the orange plastic, is like UV fluorescent.
I think the UV stuff really messes the camera up because it does. Yeah, it's trying to do autofocus. I've not seen it do that.
It's trying to do auto color, so it's trying to do, and it's getting confused. But anyway, this is a really fun project to build. No microcontroller programming, just solder practice, and then at the end you get this thing that's useful for turning your nails into a more useful tool.
Okay.
I'm all about using my large talents for things like clicky switches, and I might not be able to open a jar, but I can
Okay.
do lots of stuff.
Well, that's the project, and if
You can
folks
build
wanna-
on the Adafruit Learning System. The
Yeah.
files are available on Thingiverse, so you can mod it and make it any shape you want. It uses the PowerBoost 500C, which we're going to talk about in the next segment.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah, that's it.
that's it about it, right?
All right. Speaking of, don't forget the code is Manicure.
That's why the code is Manicure.
So the code's Manicure. We're gonna keep doing that.
This might not be the last you've heard from me about the UV gel manicure, because like I couldn't find a good video about just doing the UV gel manicure and the process that you use. So and I did film most of what would be that video already.
Okay.
So if you want to see that video, maybe you leave a comment saying, I would love to know how you do your UV nail gel manicure, Becky.
Component of the week is what is it this week?
PowerBoost 500C, used in this week's project. It's like we plan these things or something. The PowerBoost 500C is kind of like the PowerBoost family is a little bit like the Minty Boost, but like better and more powerful and newer and smaller and less assembly required. So what it does is it boosts up, uses a boost converter to boost up a battery voltage, like that one from that picture is 3.7 volts, to a 5 volt, actually 5.2, right? 5.1, 5.2. A little bit higher to accommodate for long cables and stuff like that. 5 volts to power your Raspberry Pi or your Arduino, or in this case, the 5 volt UV LED circuit. And the 500C, the C stands for charger, so it also then lets you charge the battery with onboard charging circuitry. So what happens for the UV lamp, you can go to the next picture. You can optionally solder a full-size USB-A port on it to plug in things like your phone or your Raspberry Pi, or you can solder wires directly to it to power like the UV lamp in this project. So it's very small. You can see there the picture for scale. You can see it here inside the 3D printed enclosure, and I think that means that if that is probably in the R123D design portfolio of parts.
Yeah, if not, it will be soon.
Yeah, to help you like design enclosures around it, and then you just recharge it over USB. You just plug it in. So this travel UV lamp is made like that would be really complicated to do without the power boost. Making a travel UV lamp rechargeable that runs off of a 3.7 volt battery.
We also have a new product coming out soon called Verter. Ooh, you'll see. It converts
Verter.
anything higher or anything lower up to 5 volts. Yeah.
Oh, that's fancy.
Verter.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It's the name sounded when you said it. It reminded me of Werner Herzog,
Nope. Just converter.
whose work I care for dearly.
But if okay, yeah, sure, that's what it's named after. Whatever, man. Yeah, it's cool. Okay.
I love it when you do someday on my birthday, maybe next year, you can do your Werner Herzog impression.
Maybe.
From the depths of the ocean. Okay, the materials.
Yeah.
Materials. It was not whether he was one with the bear or. Materials. We like to talk about them.
Yeah, we got
talk
some.
about like conductive materials and weirdo craft materials and glues and stuff. This week it's 3D printing filament.
Yeah.
And it's because we have it in the store and because this week's project is made out of it.
Yeah. So one quick note on our 3D printing filament. We spent a really long time trying to find the best filament. And so if you look on our product pages, we actually go into details. Why is the filament that you get from Adafruit different, better than all the rest? So there's things like how it comes out of the coil, the quality materials, if it clogs.
The uniform thickness is really important.
So there's always going to be cheaper filament out in the world. I always tell people you should get that first because the sweet taste of low-cost filament will soon be replaced by the bitterness of wasting like 8 years of your life trying to print out something like this with low-cost. I mean, you can find low-cost, high-quality filament. We think we have low-cost, high-quality.
Yeah.
But like low-cost, low-quality, you couldn't do something like that helmet.
No, and I am not in Phil's camp. I don't want you to suffer. I want you to learn from our mistakes and just start with trust us. Just trust us. This is good filament.
You'll learn more if you suffer a little.
A little suffering, but like
suffer, like a little sprinkle of
just
suffer.
a sprinkle, not a whole roll worth. So you can get the 3D printing filament in Adafruit Black. And as Little More calls it, desaturated black.
Yeah. All right. You can get 10% off on it right now.
Yeah, I know it's out of some of it's out of stock. Our 1.75 is out of stock, but the 3 millimeter filament is still in stock. And you can sign up to find out when you'll get it. And you can use code Manicure to get 10% off NinjaFlex too.
Yeah.
Which is not the material spotlight of the week, but is another 3D printing filament we do carry.
Yeah. Okay. One quick thing on the UV nail thing. Someone said you can use it as a portable counterfeit detector because there's.
Is there UV printing on money?
Well, so the new dollar bills and money that has the strip going down, if you put it under UV, that strip also glows like a bright yellow. Yeah, it's like very brilliant.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then the counterfeit.
Just hold it up to the light.
Well, so the counterfeiters got
you
good.
can counterfeit and put a strip in there.
Yeah, so the counterfeiters.
Cool.
They didn't get around to doing that little strip as UV reactive, so you can check it. You can also get a pen, I think, that gives you that. But there's now counterfeit pens that'll either show yellow or black. Black would be a counterfeit. Yellow, it would be
Yellow would be real. Yeah. That
so,
reacts to the actual like paper money. So that's cool. Yeah. So I love that you guys, instead of negging on my project that you don't want to build because you don't paint your nails, instead you are thinking of other uses for it, and that makes me very happy.
Yeah. Okay. You want to answer some questions?
Yeah,
all right,
always.
Let's do it.
There's so many. There are a lot of questions
okay,
this week. I love your questions.
Giving away a floor this week.
Yeah.
First question up is from Antonio. If I choose to go beyond the limit for power on a Gemma, is it possible to strip a spare USB cord and connect it to a separate power brick? Will that provide enough amps? And if so, not, what max amperage would I need to be provided from a power brick? I'm using 240 neopixels for my project and trying to be the most efficient in terms of weight from batteries. Thanks.
Okay, Antonio, so the limit for Gemma power is set by the USB fuse on the USB port and then the power circuitry protection on the JST connector, and we don't recommend you go over 2 amps. In the USB, you won't be able to go over 2 amps. So we have a USB power brick that is powering the Stego Spike hoodie behind Phil. in the pocket. That's what this photo is from. And that's just plugged into the USB port on a Flora, and it can deliver up to 1 amp. Next battery on the list is the 2500 milliamp hour LiPoly battery with a JST connector on it that we are using in today's UV Manicure Lamp project. This can deliver up to 2.5 amps at a time, as is through the JST port, so you don't need to make any custom cables. And then we have a bigger battery, but we don't recommend making a project over 2 amps. So this guy, the 4400 milliamp hour lithium-ion battery, that's rechargeable. You have to solder a JST connector on it, but that's all to make it work with the Gemma. And then it won't. It can deliver more amperage, but Gemma doesn't. So.
Okay.
That would just make your project last longer. So those 2500 milliamp hour, and then we have a video about calculating the battery consumption for your wearables project. You should check that out on our YouTube channel. You just search batteries or wearable battery, and yeah, but like you're good. 60 milliamps times 250. You're still under. You're still
okay.
under 2 amps.
Yeah.
So.
Also, when in doubt, consult the Uber guide, just so you can do some math and some stuff.
Yeah.
Next up, this is from John. So I folded an origami TARDIS that was the inner chamber of a 2 by 2 by 3 inch. I would love to wire it up so the small half-inch cube on top will light up and the iconic sound emit. I know there are a bunch of kits, etc. for fading LED, but what can I do for the sound that won't take up too much space and easily tie in with the LED fader?
I don't know what you're using to fade your LED. That's a decent size though, 2 by 2 and by 3 inch space. So you could easily fit like a trinket in there and have that doing like PWM on your LEDs. Sorry, I didn't have a picture for your answer, so I just put the GIF of the Bartle Beats album because I like watching it while answering the question. You can, my suggestion for you is one of those electronic greeting cards that lets you record your own message, because the circuit is very small and flat and should fit inside you just take it apart from the greeting card, you have to record your own noise. I wonder if there is a Doctor Who card that had, the audio card that has the sound already on it. That's probably going to get you a better quality sound sample, but I don't know that exists. So
yeah, the
record your own greeting card is really the way to go, because like the Wave Shield isn't going to fit in there. No other like media storage audio playback that can talk to your microcontroller is going to fit in there, but you can just use your microcontroller to turn that thing on and off, because they're usually just run by a little coin cell, so you just connect it to a digital output and give it power, and that would make the sound.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, I would like to ask about the handbag LEDs. What about coming in and out of the supermarket shop gates or airport gates? Will they sound an alarm? Will they let you through the airport gate with this in the bag?
So this question is about this LED handbag where the LEDs light up when you open it because of conductive Velcro. The first question was about shopping gates. Okay, so the things that are up on stores, those are anti-theft devices, and they are RFID readers, and they are there to read the security tags on items. They don't want you to steal high-priced items.
Yeah.
So a regular electronic circuit, such as this one or such as your phone, will not set off an alarm in a store. The more realistic question is about taking this kind of stuff through the airport, and I would just tell you from my own personal experience, being a young white lady in America, right? So I'm not like in any of these weird racial profiling groups.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You have a lot of work to do.
So I don't get unduly like scrutinized at the airport. However, I have flown a lot, and I've flown a lot with electronics, either to give workshops or demos or whatever, when I used to work for to go all the maker fairs, and I have never had the TSA search my bag to look at a wearable electronics project and ask me what it is. I've worn my TV Be Gone hoodie through the airport so many times, and I'll tell you what, the TSA, I'm not a TSA agent, but from what I read on the internet and from TSA agents blogging, they're looking for explosives, dangerous tools with long, sharp things that you're not allowed to take on the plane, and other violating dangerous substances that look either dense or pointy or sharp or long on the X-ray machine.
Yeah. This
looks like a pair of headphones on the X-ray, because it's just wires and batteries. And like, what else is in your bag besides wires and batteries? Like the power supply for your laptop, your MP3 player.
The good news is these are professionals, and if they have any secondary screening, obviously they'll check it out, and obviously they're experts, and obviously this isn't anything that's wrong or bad. So I'd say don't worry about it. You had told me something funny before the show. So you got secondary screening for tofurkey?
Yeah,
a big block of tofurkey.
So I have never had any of this stuff checked out by them, and if they have opened my toolbox one time to measure my scissors, then the guy was like, "Oh, this is interesting. What do you do?" And I was like telling him about it and talking. Like, if you just tell them what it is, oh, it's a purse that lights up when you open it. Do you want me to show you? Don't touch it until they say yes.
Yeah.
But one time I was flying to surprise my brother for his 30th birthday when he lived in Texas, and it was around Thanksgiving is his birthday, and so we were going to have big family Thanksgiving dinner at my brother's house, and since he lived in like down near the border in Texas, we weren't sure we were going to be able to find a tofurkey for me, and I was vegetarian at the time, and my sister is vegetarian. So I was flying from Phoenix, which was only a couple hour flight, and you buy tofurkeys like frozen. So I just like bought a tofurkey at my local Whole Foods and put it in my carry-on and brought it, and they secondary screened the crap out of that thing.
Yeah.
They like used the bomb cloth and but you could tell when the lady opened it, she like opened it and she went, and then she took the bomb cloth and she started swabbing it. Like, man, this is my life today, swabbing a tofurkey.
Yeah.
It does look rather dense.
And you've been on the no-fly list ever since. So sorry you can't leave. Sorry. All right, next up. This is from Oswaldo. I would like to know if you can program the floor to make NeoPixels power on individually to create a lighting sequence. Yes.
Yes, you can do that. That's all they do.
Flora
That is what they are for.
Well, they do more, but it's one of the main things they do. Yeah.
What else do they do besides light up an individual sequence?
Oh, what can Flora do?
No, NeoPixels. He's asking if
they can light up all at the same time.
they can do anything you want.
Or they can turn off all at the same time.
Yes. The answer is yes. Here's a GIF to illustrate.
Next up. Is there a way to make a li-poly battery last 1 or more months while a microcontroller sips power from it, or will it self-discharge and run out of power?
No, they don't self-discharge very quickly. I mean, over like a year or so they might, but you can, like, if you look at any of our teardowns, we talk about like how long the batteries last on those commercial products, and sometimes it's a month or more. Because the microcontrollers, such as 32U4 that's in the Flora and stuff like that, they have low power modes that you can enter into. It's a little more complicated Arduino programming than you might be used to, but you can, and this is definitely the case, that microcontrollers are programmed to operate in low power mode so that the battery will last a month or longer.
Okay, last question, and I'm going to set up the giveaway. I want to use bare conductive paint on a canvas shoe. What do you recommend to use to make it waterproof? Thanks.
So, the bare conductive paint is water-based, and it's not very gluey. So if you put it on a flexible material and then it dries, it tends to crack, kind of like tempera paint, if you remember that from being a kid. And so, like, I don't know what you're doing with your canvas shoe, but I don't know that it's just be careful, because the paint itself might not be suitable for all applications on a canvas shoe. We were talking about this before the show. I think if you had like a low-top Ked that had like not very much, like it's not like it doesn't go over your ankle. It's just like a small piece of canvas.
Converse, don't do that on Converse.
Not like on a high-top Converse, but on a low-top, like with the canvas that doesn't move very much, I think you'd be able to do a small circuit. And then, anyway, your question is about waterproofing it. I would spray it with clear spray paint.
Okay. All right, it's giveaway time.
Okay, the giveaway is happening inside the Daft Punk helmet.
Yeah, I'm gonna pour these in here.
I might pull out your question, and I might pull out a trinket.
Yeah.
One of you will win a prize. If you want to win a prize, you can ask a question, and I'll answer it, and then maybe you'll win a prize out of the. Smells nice in there. Maybe it smells like your shampoo. Okay, the winner is John P. John P. with your TARDIS. You have won a Flora. This Flora will not fit inside your TARDIS project, but hopefully you will use it to make some other project. Right. John P., congratulations. Please email support@adafruit.com to claim your prize. I also, in addition to this audio mishap I have committed today, I also forgot to put the slides for the other shows like I did last week, all fancy. So we'll just do like magical, sparkly advertisement for Show and Tell is happening later.
Show and Tell later.
If you have a project, doesn't need to be as cool as the Daft Punk helmet. It's okay.
Yeah,
you can show it off on the Show and Tell Hangout on Google Plus live at 7:30 tonight, or anytime in the future. If you comment on that post on the Google Plus community, you'll be added, and then you'll be invited every week to show off whatever project you're working on. It's a super fun time. My favorite Google Hangouts show, next to the 3D Hangout, which happens on Thursday.
Yep.
It's not quite as...
Matt, Noah, and Pedro do that show?
Yeah, with Matt Griffin, Noah, and Pedro Ruiz. That's tomorrow at 3, Thursdays at 3, 3D Hangouts.
Yep.
And then after show and tell at 8 p.m. tonight is Ask an Engineer with Mrs. Lady Ada and probably some more of this
I'll probably show this off
shenanigans.
again.
Probably some more of this shenanigans.
Yeah.
And more questions being answered. So if you have non-wearables questions, ask one more.
Yeah.
Ask me the wearables questions.
Okay.
Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back same time next week
Yeah.
with more
I
fun.
have to poke out to show the code again. Don't forget the code's Manicure.
The code is Manicure so that you
Yeah.
can get your nails did with
Yeah.
some UV LEDs.
Okay.
And that's our show today.
That's our show. Okay.
Thanks
Can't
for
really see
watching.
anything. I'm gonna stop now.
Good night.